I was 660 pounds in January of 2020. And then the hospitalization happened, which I'm sure we'll get into. But needless to say, over the past 4 years, I have literally lost and gained back 100 pounds 3 times, which is wild because that's like what most people's weight loss journey in itself is.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Discovering Nutrition with Cronometer. I'm your host, Elisa, and today we have a truly powerful episode to share with you. I'm joined by Ethan Bernard, someone who's made the incredibly brave decision to completely change the course of his life. At one point, Ethan weighed 660 pounds. Now, he's on a journey not just to lose weight, but to rebuild his relationship with food, movement, and most importantly, himself. If you've ever felt stuck, overwhelmed, or unsure where to begin with your health, this episode's for you. Ethan's story is real, raw, and incredibly inspiring. As always, this podcast is for general purposes only and does not constitute the practice of medicine, nursing, or other professional healthcare services, including getting medical advice. The use of information from this podcast is at the user's own risk and is not to be substituted for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Let's get into it. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Are you? You still just blowing up?
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to hit that big $250,000 mark, you know?
Well, how far away are you now?
I think I'm less than 4,000 away.
Really?
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy.
What does that feel like? Like to...
Because you know what? You know what's interesting is that going viral and being an influencer, I think for a lot of people is something that's very sought after. And I think a ton of people put a ton of work into like growing their channels and they're trying to like manipulate the algorithm. And then here you are on May 19th, you decide to start posting. And then not even 8 weeks later, you have blown up. So what is that like to have like overnight success on a platform that people have been trying to grow for years?
Yeah, and I mean, I think I'm in a really interesting position because there are a lot of like quote unquote weight loss creators, but not a lot of them have the on-camera skills.
Right.
Like it is insane to me how many people I'll see that have like these crazy stories to tell, but then they just like sit there and they talk like this. And they don't move their voice and they're just kind of like, hey guys, this is what I just did. And I'm like, I used to do broadcasting full time. So I had a huge advantage coming into this. Like I have the skills and now the connections to kind of take this momentum and run with it. Like I haven't missed a step. I've been uploading like 4 or 5 times a day.
I'm following very closely.
Yeah. So I used to do the gaming broadcasting stuff full time, which is what this whole setup is. And but I had never used Facebook or Instagram before as a creator. So I had a TikTok page that had 100,000 from then, but even that has gone from like 100,000 to like 230,000 this past 8 weeks. So even the platform that I don't care about as much is growing, which I'm happy with. But the Instagram and Facebook stuff has been crazy. I think across those two platforms alone, I've had over 100 million video views in the past 8 weeks.
That's so wild to me. And I was looking at your page and I'm following your updates. And I think what it really comes down to is we all love a hero's journey. You know, like that is just a global story that everyone resonates, everyone cheers for. And you are literally on this in front of the entire world, like exposing yourself, your feelings, which I know you've posted some content recently that was like pretty deep.
Deep. Yeah, that's a good word for it.
For sure. And it's hard to expose yourself that way. I thought personally, especially to the internet, because you're not sure how well things are going to be received. But I would say, looking at the comments on your page and stuff, everybody is really resonating with your story and really, really cheering for you. So I think it's great. As usual, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I'd like to just dive into your backstory a little bit. So just tell me how you arrived where you're at, why you decided that you would start a weight loss journey. Just give me a little bit of backstory.
Yeah, so I grew up big, like huge, dare I say, ginormous. I was 200 pounds by the age of 9.
Wow.
So I was always huge, but I was also always tall. So, no, and I don't know how the weight gain could have been any number of factors. Like, yeah, I ate a lot because I was a single, like I was an only child, and the only social connections I really had were at like church, So, because after elementary school, I did all online. So I was homeschooled, which was cool because I can get everything done by noon every day. But then also the only other time I would hang out with kids was at Sunday school on Sundays. So it could have been like, I think it was the loneliness and just like, I like food. I don't know who doesn't. So that combined with maybe some hormonal stuff that I've been dealing with is probably a big factor for gaining it. But until 2020, I didn't really care about myself enough to try to lose it. Like this is a wild statement, but I actually hated my body so much when I was growing up as a teenager that I didn't even bother taking care of it. Like straight up, my hygiene was trash. My dental hygiene was and still kind of is abysmal because I'm still dealing with the repercussions of not having taken care of it properly. So up until 2020, I didn't really care. And then I weighed in for the first time in years. And I was like, oh, crap. I had some work to do because the scale was never a part of my life. So I weighed in and I was like, oh, I'll probably weigh like over 500 pounds, 600 pounds. Who knows? Because I'm huge. Like I'm 6'5". So even when I lose the weight, I'm still going to be a big ass guy. But no, I was 660 pounds in January of 2020. And then I was doing like the gaming stuff full time. And I thought that was my calling with the streaming. I was having a lot of fun. I was starting to be successful. And then the hospitalization happened, which I'm sure we'll get into. But needless to say, over the past 4 years, I have literally lost and gained back 100 pounds 3 times, which is wild. Because that's like what most people's weight loss journey in itself is.
It is very impressive, honestly, that you can do that. I think one of the things that a lot of people would appreciate, myself included, maybe not on the same scale, but I have gained and lost, and you and I talked about this before, I've gained and lost the same like 10 pounds, probably over 10 times. Like, I think that we are all programmed to do stuff and do it quickly. And then sustainability is a piece that's just like not discussed very often. Like, I think we have the tools to get where we need to go, but not necessarily stay there. So I think that that's one of the things that really resonated in your story with me is I'm like, I've been there. Maybe not at that level. Certainly haven't lost 100 pounds at one time, but I'm like, that is so relatable. And I think that is something that everybody, like globally, is struggling with right now. So you're not alone. I think that's why people are really cheering for you. When you say that you hated your body, what did your thoughts look like then? Like, what would you think about? Like,
I kind of always thought that it was just kind of how I was. I never really imagined myself beating it just because I had always lived with it. But no, when you're this big, people don't treat you the same as they do normal people. I say normal with an asterisk because I know that's like a really weird term. But no, you don't get treated the same. You get like stares, and subconsciously, I think a lot of people are like, oh, people are thinking about me this way. But like, I know that. Like, I know, like, I can tell. Like, I have the discernment now with so many years of being this large when someone is just kind of like, oh my gosh, that guy's big. Or when someone's like looking at you with a disgust. I know that's like a wild statement, but you can tell. So I've always I was in that thought process so deep that like for a good decade there, I literally did not care if I lived or not. That's like just where I was at. So I had no reason to take care of myself because I didn't care about myself.
That's really heavy. Do you think just to play devil's advocate, do you think people were looking at you because you're just really tall? Because really tall people.
No, for sure. Then that's the thing. I stand out like a sore thumb. I'm huge. So that's what I was saying with the discernment thing. Like I could kind of tell when people were like, "Oh my God, that's a big guy," or when people were kind of looking at you in a more malicious intent. Seems a little extreme, but you know what I mean.
Does that make you nervous then about posting on socials as much as you do? And what do you think has changed there?
I don't think anything has changed. I've never really cared what people thought about me. I just am aware of what people think about me, if that makes sense.
That's fair.
So, because like I could tell when, like, I don't care if people do that. Like, you stare at me, give me a leer because I'm fat. I don't give a shit. Like, who cares? No, that's the thing with the social media stuff. Like, right? Like, I could not care less what people have said about me.
Good for
I've
you.
said some things, and I've had some scenarios where people really hark on me about like my beliefs and convictions or my weight, whatever. I don't care. Like, if you do social media, you have to have the mental fortitude to understand what is going to come at you, literally regardless of who you are, what you believe, whatever. It's an inevitability. And that's why, honestly, and I know this is a super hot take, most people who are on this journey, I'm just like, don't share it. If you don't have that mental fortitude and you can't tell yourself and make that decision not to take heed of all of the thoughts and spewing that people are going to do, then you should not suscept yourself to that. There's no reason to. Your journey itself matters more than you sharing it. If you're in a position like me where you have the mental capacity to do both, then you're good. But most people on this journey, if they're self-conscious or they care about what others think, they just shouldn't share it. They should just do it. Because at the end of the day, they're going to inadvertently hurt their progress by trying to inspire other people. I know that's a really hot take.
I love that, though. I love that you're that self-aware. And I also love that you've considered that. I personally am someone that comments from strangers on the internet. I find them very challenging. Even I make Cronometers content, and even when people say mean stuff or like on our Reddit community, I wear it like physically.
Yeah.
I'm like, my day is now not ruined because that's
and that's the thing too. Like I've built a level of confidence. I am incredibly proud of how I handle myself on camera and everything that I post. Even if it's a dumb video where I'm just pulling out my phone and talking to it, I put a lot of work into my speaking. I put a lot of work into the angles, the timing of the captions, down to like little minute shit that no one cares about. But if I didn't do it, they would immediately notice. So at the end of the day, I'm so confident in what I create and what I do that I really couldn't care less what other people have to say about it. But I'm also have the emotional strength to be able to accept like compliments and encouragement. You know what I mean?
that can also be really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I'm just someone that's very sensitive to other people's opinions. I don't
Yeah.
the same.
And the thing I try to tell people, and this is way easier said than done, but why would you care what people are saying if it's not someone that you love or respect? Because some dude like cussing me out and calling me a fat ass in my comments, that dude has no weight on my life at all. I couldn't care less.
And I love that you think that, because for me, you know where I go in my head? I don't, if someone says something rude, I'm not like, I'm a bad person because they said this, but I'm like, did you not watch Bambi when you were growing up? Because I'm pretty sure that Thumper's mom said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. So for me, I'm just like, where are people at in their own lives that they have to go and just try to tear down strangers? You know, and that's
that's a whole nother aspect of it. And like I said, and this is gonna sound harsh, but honestly, for people like that, I don't care.
Yeah.
you know?
And that's
And I understand that people are probably in a really shitty position in their life if they're talking shit to a fat guy trying to lose weight online. But like I said, like you have to make that separation of not letting any aspect of that weigh on you at all. You can't let the aspect of, oh my gosh, I feel sorry for these people because their life must be so messed up if they're commenting bad stuff. And you also can't let the bad stuff itself affect you.
Mhm.
It's all distraction at the end of the day.
Are you looking at people's comments then, or not really?
Oh yeah, I read everything. Well, I can't read everything. I don't have time to read everything, but I read a bunch of comments. Yeah,
That's so sweet.
I try to like and respond to a bunch of them, but there's just too many.
What a great problem to have.
Right.
So the maximum weight that you ever achieved was 660 pounds. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Walk me through what life was like for you then. Like, what did it feel like to exist in your body? Like, let's give people some
It is exactly how it feels now.
Really?
Really. I don't notice much of a difference at all. I started to see it in my face recently, but I have so many medical issues like nerve damage and stuff from the hospitalization that I really don't tell much of a difference.
Okay.
That being said, I have always been, up until the hospital, I was always fully independent. Even at 660 pounds, I could do everything myself, which is not what probably 95% of people who were that weight could say. And I've recently regained a lot of that independence back after the hospital, but that was the worst part, was going from being a fully independent person to depending upon other people for like really simple stuff.
Yeah.
That sucks. But like at that size, you know, and like I said, I'm 6'5", so I'm not your typical case. I'm not like you hear 660-pound man, you're thinking of a dude who's literally spherical, you know? Like I wasn't quite there. Like I was never like I was big. Like I am a big guy, but I was never like to that like my 1,000-pound life extreme, you know?
Right.
So I never had like you can't take care of yourself in the bathroom or whatever, you know? But I know that that's like, there's a lot of like really nasty shit that people who get to that point have to deal with. So, no, I think it's just like simple things that most people take for granted are not easy at this size. Like literally anything. Getting out of bed, standing up, walking. My height has given me a big advantage with a lot of that stuff, but still, like even like getting in and out of cars, seat belts, really dumb shit that most people don't think twice about is all like a real pain in the ass when you're this size. And it all hurts more too, just because of you just got to lug around more weight when you're doing it, you know?
Yeah. Were your joints and everything affected? Like,
well, from the hospitalization, oh yeah. But from the weight, I don't know. I feel like my legs are really strong. I've never had like knee issues. I've always had back pain, but like that doesn't surprise me from how much weight is like pulling down on it, you know?
It'll be amazing. I'm going to ask you this same question when you reach your goal weight, and I'm going to see what it feels like to exist in your body, because I feel like it's going to be different for me.
Well, and I am more active than I ever have been.
Yes.
But it's just like I'm still in so much like pain, and I still am like now, especially that I'm working out. My body is constantly so sore that it doesn't really matter. Like I just constantly sore and in pain regardless. And that's how my life has been for the past 4 years. So I don't know what point I'll like go, oh crap, I've lost some weight, but I'm not there yet, that is pretty wild to think about. But I've still got over 200 pounds to lose.
For me, I'm such a sensitive woman in my body. If I gain 5 pounds, because I run quite a bit, if I gain 5 pounds, I get shin splints when I run, versus if I weigh 5 pounds less, because I weigh right now, I don't. So for me, it's just, I'm like maybe just more sensitive. I'm not sure, but I'm like, okay, like I can't get to that point because it hurts more. So yeah. I hope that you reach.
Yeah, and I've literally, I don't think I've ran since I was like 13.
You and I talked about this.
So like that's just not something I do. Like I tried to playing tennis for the first time since middle school 4 weeks ago, And literally the only thing you have to do to beat a fat guy in tennis is hit the ball to the other side of the court. Because I don't know if it's from the hospital or what. I have like this trauma response thing. If I try to run, I feel like I'm going to fall.
Really?
Yeah. Like I literally feel like I'm going to fall over if I try to run. If I get up to a certain speed, my body will lock up and go like, oh shit, and then I'll stop.
Just lay on the ground.
Yeah, because I was a fall risk for so long after the hospital, especially with my nerve damage and stuff. Like I fell like four times in like the first year after the hospital. Just really dumb shit. Like going down the stairs, falling on my ass, tripping over those dumbass bricks that they put in front of cars in parking lots. Stuff like that, you know? So now after that, and I think I could probably move around a lot better now, but every time I get up to a certain speed, my body is just like, hold on, you know?
We're going to fast forward to a couple of years and you'll be like competing in high rocks and like running sub-3 marathons.
Yeah, see, I've always hated cardio, but I do want to try that stuff.
Honestly, I want to try that stuff. You and I can maybe help each other because I'm not a weightlifter, but definitely a runner. But you've touched on your hospitalization a number of times. So tell me what happened to land you in the hospital. How long were you there? Give me all the deets.
Oh yeah. So the weekend that I made Twitch partner, which is a pretty big accolade in the gaming industry. The last thing I remember before the hospital was getting home and receiving that email. I think the last thing I posted before the hospital was a screenshot of that email. You could probably still find it if you scroll down on Instagram enough. So that was a Saturday night, and I woke up 15 days later in the ICU.
Were you completely disoriented?
Oh, yeah, I had no clue what was happening.
Did you have any concept at that point of how much time had passed?
No, none whatsoever. I didn't even know that I was sick. I didn't even know that I was taken to the hospital. I have zero recollection of the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday leading up to when they took me in.
Whoa.
And zero recollection of the day they took me in and actually being taken in. Because I got intubated. I got put on a ventilator Wednesday night. So between Saturday night and Wednesday night, I have zero memory whatsoever. And then I woke up 11 or 12 days after that in the ICU.
How did you end up in the hospital? Did your parents?
Oh, yeah. My dad called 911 because of how unresponsive I was. It was like respiratory failure. My body actually had COVID, but it also had developed a bacterial pneumonia at the same time. Like my respiratory levels were so crazy, they thought I had a heart attack. Which I didn't, but that's what they thought because that's how like messed up I was. So, yeah, I woke up, but when I woke up off the ventilator, I had a stage 4 pressure wound and I had a nerve injury that literally messed up the entire right side of my body from the neck down. It was a lot.
That is the worst thing to wake up to. Definitely one of the worst things to wake up to. So then you were treated in the hospital. Did you lose any weight over that time? Like what?
Oh, yeah. They took like 50 liters of fluid off my body. Like it was ridiculous. I spent, I think, a total of 22 days in the ICU. That's including the ventilation. So I think a week and a half after I woke up. And then I got transferred to a rehabilitation hospital where I spent another 5+ weeks. I was literally hospitalized for like 61 days. So you go from, sorry.
No, go ahead.
So you go from being live 10 hours a day, every single day to just, you're gone. 2 months.
Total silence. Yeah.
Yep.
And so that would have drastically changed your life in more ways than one then, you know, like the thing that you're doing professionally doesn't exist the same way anymore. And that is a job that requires, you know, a regular cadence of posting, obviously. And then also, were your parents catalysts in you making a lifestyle change? Like, is that the moment then you're like, okay, something? has to give, or
No, so before the hospital, I had actually started losing weight. I lost 50 pounds in 2 months on keto
okay.
before the hospitalization. So that was like right after I had made the decision to try to lose weight. But I was such a bitter and angry person after the hospital, and I was pretty mentally weakened after that. Because I had spent 4 years of my life building that business. Like 10-hour days at the office, streaming a bunch, making connections, working with people, whatever, for years. And then all of that literally crumbled in like 2 months.
What a 180 in your life all around.
Yeah.
What made you decide to do the ketogenic diet? I'm curious.
I don't know. I tried everything.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried everything. Honestly, keto doesn't even work for me now.
Mm-hmm.
I did 6 weeks of keto this year, and I only lost 15 pounds. Which, that's not a lot of weight for me.
Right.
Like, I've lost 130 pounds since January. It's currently July 8th. So I've lost 130 pounds in the last 6 months. 6 weeks of that was that keto spent where I only went down 15.
How did you feel on keto?
The energy levels are bad like the first week, and then it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the food is like, it's not bad, but it's just not as fulfilling, you know?
I love carbs, but I've been at Cronometer now for over 7 years. And when I first started, keto was like really having a moment. I'm not saying it's not having a moment now still, but it was really having a moment, and everyone was really strict with their carbohydrate intake and quite passionate about it. And I'm like, you know what? I need to learn why this matters so much to these people. So the best way to do that is to become one of these people that are doing the ketogenic diet. And I lost quite a bit of water weight, obviously, in the first couple of weeks. Like, I'm 130 pounds, but I think I lost like 8 pounds. But my energy, I could not do anything that I loved. And that's just, It's just individualistic. You know, I know a lot of people that have had great success with it, but couldn't hike, couldn't run, couldn't bike. I just felt really lethargic. And I know there's like a keto flu moment that people have as well. But for me, I was just like, it's just not sustainable. And I think that one of the pieces, I've talked about this quite a bit, one of the pieces that I think is so important when people are looking at what diet is going to work for them, because there's a bazillion different diet options, is like, what can I eat here? Like, what is sustainable? What will I enjoy? So, and I think people like now, they give me a hard time when I love mini eggs, Ethan. I love mini eggs.
Mini eggs?
Oh, yeah. Like,
what is that?
What?
like the candy? Like a chocolate egg?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love those. And whenever I pull them out, people are like, don't you work for a nutrition tracking app? And I'm like, I do, but part of my diet is balance.
You track the eggs.
I do. I track everything.
Okay.
Everything.
Okay.
I'm never cheating.
Some people will sneak, you know, some people just like,
they'll lie to Cronometer. For me, like, I'm not gaining anything by lying, you know? Like, I still, the effect is still on my body, whether I log it in the app or not. So I do like trying to be mindful of including everything. But I think that people are surprised by balance. You know, people are like, oh, it's weird that you're able to maintain your weight, but still eat this. Like, it's almost foreign, which is really wild to me. But I think
it is crazy. On my weigh-in video this week, I was up 10 pounds.
I saw that.
Which could have, you know, that's literally 2% of my body weight. So I don't care. It could be water. I could have had yet to take a bowel movement, something like that, you know? It is what it is. And then everyone's comments like, bro, you got to cut out the carbs. Like, I am strength training 3 to 4 times a week. There is no way in hell I am just going to stop eating carbs.
That's a great segue. I have a question about that. Being somebody that is on a journey in public, and being that, I don't know if you've noticed, but like this circle of nutrition and wellness and weight loss, everyone has an opinion about something, and it's oftentimes different. Like one of the things
I'm very opinionated.
I'm not, but one of the things I've noticed is that everyone thinks that their diet is the best, and that's great. But then people want you to do their diet because they love it, you know? So are you being how do you feel when you're being subjected to people's opinions on stuff like that? Like you've said you're confident, so you're just like, that's great, that works for you, but not for me? Or how do you handle it?
I think it's funny. And I wish I was allowed myself to be a little more toxic sometimes, Alyssa.
No.
Because I used to, when I did the live streaming, like my whole shtick, you know, because you have to respond to the comments when you're live.
Oh, okay.
Or there's no point in being live if you're not going to interact, right? So I would make fun of the people who came in and talk shit. I would like throw it back on them, make some jokes about it, you know?
Yeah.
Like someone would come in to the chat and they would be like, well, look at how fat this guy is. And I'm like, chat, look at this dude. He took a career aptitude test and got freaking detective. You know, I would make quips like that. And so I'm so used to like just like responding to comments. But like, I swear to God, I will literally post a video about a salad. And some of the comments will be like, a real nutritionist would never have a 500-pound man eating croutons. Excuse me? So a video of a 500-pound guy making a salad, and the problem that you see is that he's putting croutons on it. Mm-hmm. What is going on in your mind?
Yeah.
That 100 calories of carbs is just gonna like F the whole meal. That just doesn't like stuff like that. I wish I could respond to it, but I'm trying to be just like a positive and motivating creator. But in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, some of these people are morons. Like I can't respond to them the way that I used to, and it's probably good that I'm making that change. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like some of those comments, oh my gosh. Like I call them the TikTok nutritionists.
Yes. Well,
it is insane.
Everyone would have an opinion though. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm fine with people having opinions because I get a front row to like what works well for people, like what works well for me. I call my diet eat bread and run a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
But what works for me is not going to work for everybody else, and I totally recognize that.
My friend Tommy does like marathons and stuff and like triathlons, and he literally fuels himself with like freaking like these sour candies.
Oh,
like nerds gummy clusters or some shit.
Okay, first of all, those are so good.
Like, that's the thing. Like, people talk so much shit about, like, certain foods and stuff, but, like,
you need that.
Carbs are carbs. Like, obviously, like, natural sugars are better for you than refined sugars, but at the end of the day, carbs are carbs. Carbs are a fuel, you know?
And they're readily available. Like, it's funny that you say that shout out to nerds. Gummy clusters as well, because those are really good. But when I'm hiking or something, like a long distance, you know, I did like a 50-kilometer hike, and my energy was like just tanking. And then I'm like, I had some high chews. Do you know what a high chew is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, they're delicious as well. And just candy, straight candy, and it was like instant energy. And that's what it is, you know, like our body just takes energy so quickly from simple carbs. So I think that there's a time and a place for that. But a lot of people, again, they've eliminated a whole food group. There's no room for that in their diet, which I'm happy to see, because you posted a picture of cheesecake the other day.
That just random little comment that we went to a tavern on Lake Michigan to meet a friend of ours for the 4th of July, because me and Danny, my best friend, didn't have any plans. They had some wild stuff on their menu. Like, we were pretty adventurous that night. I got a coffee rubbed steak.
Whoa.
Couldn't taste the coffee. Really disappointed, because I like coffee a lot. But then for dessert, they had a hot honey peach cheesecake.
Okay, that sounds incredible.
Now, I'm someone who eats spicy food that is like, I am like so far beyond white people spicy. I eat spicy food that literally brings myself to tears.
For fun.
And I enjoy it. I like unironically enjoy it. I literally go to a local spice shop here in Michigan that makes their own concoction called Hellfire.
Okay.
I shit you not, Eliza. It is literally spicier than pure cayenne. I don't even know how they attained it. I don't know how they do it. I used to take like a shaker of cayenne pepper and just pour it on stuff. Pour, shake, whatever. But now that I've discovered this, I do the same with this. But like literally, I will have like by the end of my meal, I will have like tears rolling down my face. So with that said, like this, I couldn't taste any spice in the cheesecake, and the waiter was like, "Be careful." Some of the customers complain about the spice. I'm like, "All right, just
Sit down. I got it.
Yeah, just bring it over."
That's amazing.
So that was fun. Yeah,
I'm not with you on that one, but I loved that you ate cheesecake.
Yeah,
because for me, I was like, okay, this is somebody that's committing to fun moments with their food, but still has a goal. And I think that those things should be shared and celebrated more. You know, like I think that it's important to show that realness, but more importantly than that, it's important to like have those moments where you just love what you're eating and indulge.
Well, it's easy to compensate for too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't properly compensate for it because I had a busy weekend. But or normally, if I have an eating day like that, I'll just fast the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the week, it's the amount of calories your body burned and the amount of calories your body ate.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, I ate more than normal. I didn't eat anywhere near enough to stay the same, or let alone gain fat. But I still had like an average of 500 or 600 calories more than I normally would that week. And then all the people in the comments will be like, "Oh, well, you eat more. No wonder you're up 10 pounds. You know? But like, that's the thing. Like, what is the point of being on the path or being on the journey if you're going to just be miserable the whole time?
I agree.
Like, I'm okay with suffering. I live in suffering. I've lived in suffering for my entire life in one sense or another, especially this past 4 years since the hospital. And I'm constantly in pain. I'm sore from the gym. I'm sore from the gym when I go to the gym. I'm still sore from the last time I was there. I don't care about that. But food, like, you could literally, I think if I was doing like keto, or if I was putting myself in a position where I couldn't have like my salads, I would be so miserable. I wouldn't be able to stick to it. Mm-hmm. Like, I have pretty good willpower, but if you put me in a position where I can't eat like the salads that I make or something like that, I would go crazy. And I think that's what a lot of people inadvertently do. But like, even like the social aspect of eating.
I know.
Just do it. Who cares? You don't have to order the biggest dish. You don't have to order the highest calorie thing. And even if you do, who cares? Just eat less the next day. Count it. Track it. That's literally all that matters.
I love that you said that, because I had this. So I have a disordered eating background.
Yeah.
And
I do. I think I technically do too, but I was never like diagnosed. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I wasn't diagnosed either. I just like knowing the patterns, this being my job now, I'm like, okay, that was not good. So I never like binged and purged, but I was eating less than 800 calories a day for a while. End of high school, beginning of university, really, really a small woman. I think I was like 112 pounds or something, which for my body is not, I'm 5'4", so that was on the thin side for me. My build tends to be a little bit more muscular. So looking back, I'm like, oh, that was not a good time. But I was scared, physically scared to go out for dinner with people.
Wow.
Yeah, because it made me out of control. I couldn't weigh things. I couldn't measure. I had no idea of how much dressing was used. So back then, like, the information was not available in the same way on like calories and everything else.
Yeah.
Now you can go out and you can get it. You can go find the nutrition facts on, a chain's website easily. but that didn't exist then. So I would just be in fear. And I passed up so many fun opportunities because I just couldn't put myself in that situation. And so now, same thing as you, like food is incredibly social.
Yeah.
Like it's part of our human experience, and that's a great place to connect with friends, with family, going out now, same thing. I'm so happy that you have this mindset early, because now I just go out and I'm like, I will order whatever I want. I'm not stressed out about how much sauce. I'm not asking for it to be on the side, like I'm eating what I want in the moment. And I think that that's, again, a huge part of sustainability, because I think like
if you can have that mindset and combine it with a level of self-discipline, you can do well very easily.
I agree. That to me is 100% the secret sauce in like losing and maintaining weight, I think. And it's not linear. And I think that when I saw your post yesterday, I think it was, that you were technically on the scale up some weight. And I was like, yes, yes. Like I'm not celebrating for you gaining weight. If you have a weight loss goal, what I'm celebrating is the transparency and the honesty, because weight loss is not linear. I think people expect it to be. They're like, well, I'm going to just go down and keep going down. That's not how that works. And actually, a lot of people have shared their weight loss graphs within Cronometer on socials, and it's not this line that just goes down. It's like up, down, up, down, up, down. Like up 5 pounds, down 7. So when you shared that, I was like, Ethan, not only are you sharing your journey, but you're sharing all facets of it in a very healthy way. So I'm really, really cheering. All this to say, I'm really cheering for what you're doing. I love that you're enjoying food. I love that you're being transparent. Like what you're doing is so inspiring. So
yeah, and I like the thing is like too, like the fasting too, and I don't know your thoughts on like the intermittent fasting or even just like fasting. Last Sunday or a week before this Sunday, we went out for like ice cream and stuff, and I had just had water because I had already made the decision that I was going to fast that day. But that's another thing too. Like even if you're going hardcore and you're doing stuff like water fasts or dry fasting, which is kind of dangerous, you can still be social.
Mm-hmm.
If you have friends that are going to give you shit for not eating or not ordering what they order, they're stupid. That's just what it boils down to. That's just stupid.
I was just going
because I was still able to be a part of that conversation and be a part of that day without messing up what I did. And I lost 5 pounds that week.
And that raises another interesting point for me something that I've noticed personally in my own life is, so people would never make comments about like trying to convince you to do something that was unhealthy for you. People wouldn't be like smoking a pack of cigarettes and they'll be like, Ethan, come smoke these cigarettes with us right now. You know what I mean? Like people's opinions about other people's diets are way more vocal than they would be about other things.
Anything else. Yeah.
Yes. So it is important, again, like you said, to have the right people in place to support you that don't make you feel weird about sticking to your health goals. And it's weird that people would ever make anyone feel bad about trying to achieve something, and that is common, but it's such a strange concept to me, like my partner, will be making food and I weigh everything. I'm really done.
Yeah.
and he, won't put stuff, he won't plate stuff for me. And it's not because he doesn't want to, but because he knows that I'm going to weigh it, that's my love languages.
See, that's interesting because I always weigh everything before I prepare the food. Because it's way harder to like track cooked food. For me anyway.
No, and that's fair. Tracking whatever works for you, I think. For me, like the example, I had a burrito last night. So like when I'm compiling stuff, I just like take the scale, put the plate on it, and then I'm just like zeroing things out. So like and then the ground beef and whatever. So for me, that's just like when I'm building kind of meals like that, which a lot of my meals are like that. But that said, when I'm building like a recipe, I make a lot of like one pot meals. I am weighing the uncooked food.
Yeah, because then you can get the gram weight and the calories for the entire batch and then just divide easy.
My man. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I do. So then I am like weighing it cooked. But I think that, and people are like, that's not 100% accurate. It's not going to be 100% accurate, but it's never going to be 100%. No, like the overarching, like a year's worth of calories is kind of like what I'm looking at. So, but it's great that you are weighing.
I look at the same way weekly. I look at the same way weekly.
So you're tracking on Cronometer, which is great. You have a coach that actually goes way back with the CEO of Cronometer, Aaron. So it's fun. I'm stoked that you're using us to track your nutrition. And one thing
I enjoy being able to like adjust the goals and make custom foods and stuff because I have my entire salad just set as a custom meal.
Yes.
So everything minus the protein, I just press a button, bam, it's calculated. And then whatever I decide to put on it, most of the time chicken, but like chicken thigh, chicken breast, fried chicken thigh, fried chicken breast, it doesn't matter. I can just add that on top of it and get going.
I also wondered with your gaming background if like the gamification of nutrition is fun. No,
I don't care. I hit my goals, but it's not the same. It's not the same thing.
You're saying that getting 100% on your all targets is not the same?
I hit 310 grams of protein yesterday.
And that's not fun.
Went a little overboard. It was kind of fun in seeing it going over the 100%, but
that's right. See, it is fun. We see a lot of people that are like, I like the gamification of it, and if you're like someone that's like really stickler for numbers, then it's fun. But yeah, I'm stoked that you're tracking with us. One of the things that I find really helpful that you might find helpful too that you haven't discovered yet is the nutrition report. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Kevin sends it to me weekly.
Yes. Perfect. Because for me, that's what I look at. And when you're talking about what you're zooming out, people get so stuck in like the granularity of their diet day to day that they're not really like looking at the bigger picture. So for me, I kind of do what you do actually is I zoom out and I look at my calories in versus my calories out, and then obviously all my nutrients, but on a weekly basis.
Yeah, and like that's the thing too. Like if you can do that, and you combine that with self-discipline, you can eat whatever the hell you want.
Yes,
you can go have pizza with friends. You can do whatever. I've had like on Father's Day, I ate 4,000 calories. I think it was like the highest calorie day I've had this entire year. And then I fasted the next day. Dropped 4 pounds that week because I just compensated. Because at that point, I was doing 2,000 calories a day on average. So a 4,000 calorie day was basically 2 days in one. I was like, all right, I won't eat tomorrow, and then I'll move my way into Tuesday. So if you have like the capacity to just make those decisions and keep yourself on track, you can do whatever the hell you want. 4,000 calories is a lot of calories.
I will dummy 4,000 calories.
Oh no, and that's the thing too, Eliza. Like I was talking with Joey, my strength coach. Like he's in charge of all my fitness. Like when I am 6'5" and I'm built like a football player. When I am at my physical peak, I will easily be able to eat 5,000 calories a day without blinking. So people are like, "Oh, Ethan, why are you eating this? Why aren't you building habits?" Like I'm not trying to build habits. I'm living a healthier lifestyle than I was. I'm not trying to build habits. When I'm at the end of this journey, and quote unquote, there is no end. When I'm at the peak of my physical health, I will literally be able to eat 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day without caring. That's just how it's going to be. I'm going to be huge.
I'm
I
really
will
honest.
always be a very large man, especially once I get a lot more muscle built.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't need to teach myself to eat meals that are like 600 calories or do this, do that, whatever. I drink a lot of water. I hit my protein goals. And at the end of this, I'll be able to eat so much food that none of the tracking will probably matter nearly as much.
I think though, to those people that, are talking about habit building, that you are, like
Oh,
you're
for sure. Yeah, like the gym and stuff and the tracking and everything.
everything. Very few people, shouldn't say very few.
It is very few.
But the amount of people I think that are tracking their nutrition honestly, and the amount of people that are trying to reach a goal and not tracking their nutrition, I think there is a discrepancy there. But tracking nutrition is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. But it is a habit. People are like, how are you still doing this after 7 years? And I'm like, I don't even think about it anymore. And when you get to your goal weight, it will be so ingrained that you probably won't think about it, and same thing. And you're
well, and that's another aspect of it too, Eliza, is the more you do it, the more accurate your mind becomes at telling how many calories what thing has.
Yeah.
Because if you go to a restaurant and you order a sandwich, you can't tell how many freaking damn calories are in that thing. But if you track enough, you'll be able to go, this probably has this many, and then ballpark it, which is sometimes the best you can do, and I always overestimate on the ballparking.
Same.
So, like, that's the thing too. Like, the more you do it, the better your mind becomes at it. And that's what I was saying, like, down the line. Like, I'll probably always track, but I won't need to at that point. Like, I'll be burning so many calories. I will never struggle to eat that much. but I won't have to worry about, like, doing everything by the gram at that point, even though I probably still will to an extent.
Your goals might be different, and then so you'll need to track for a different reason, like muscle building.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just something like, for me, I naturally will eat more if I'm not tracking. Like, I love eating. I love food.
Yeah.
So for me to maintain my weight, I ultimately have to track. Even after this many years, I'm just not someone that like eats intuitively. Like one day I might eat like 1,200 calories, and the next day.
Oh yeah, I eat like a dog. I eat the same thing every single day.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I've been eating the same Caesar salad since 2020.
Okay, I've had the same bagel every morning.
Yeah,
I'm like, I've committed wholeheartedly to this relationship with this bagel, so I completely, and I'm never sick of it. Are you sick of it?
No, not once. No.
I know, it's funny, hey, creatures of habit. But honestly, one of the things when people are onboarding on Cronometer and they're like, it's really hard to like input all your food, I'm like, give yourself like 30 days of food. You're eating the same things all the time. Like, we really don't deep.
And that's where the custom thing comes in too, because like my salad is just a custom meal now. So I don't have to go through and add like all 7 different things.
No.
I can just go to my stuff and click add, and then it's done.
So tell me about your diet before you started working with Kevin, and then tell me about the tweaks that you've made now.
Well, basically the only thing I did prior to working with Kevin was calorie counting.
Uh-huh.
That was it. I lost 100 pounds this year just eating 2,000 calories a day. And I wasn't moving. I was playing video games 50 hours a week, didn't care about life. I was just sitting there trying to get the weight off, wasn't walking, wasn't going to the gym. Literally just being in a calorie deficit, I lost 100 pounds in 5 months. And then I started walking, and then a week after I started walking, I started making the videos, and I started doing more protein. And once I started going to the gym, we increased my calories from 2,000 to 2,500, and I still lost 5 pounds that week. So basically, I went from eating 2,000 calories a day with 170 grams of protein minimum to now 2,500 calories a day with 250 grams minimum.
That's a lot of protein.
Because the thing is, and this is a hot take, but it is what it is. I've done all the diets, all the fad diets, all the methods, everything. Intermittent fasting is by far the easiest way to passively lose weight. If you're not going over your maintenance calories, you literally don't have to change anything in your life except for eating in a small window every day and fasting diligently. You will burn fat. It is just stupid how easy that is. I've been doing that for a year, And I think that's a big part of why I'm able to lose so fast is because me and my mom fast 20 hours a day on average. We don't do like this, 16-hour fast with an 8-hour eating window. No, I will literally fast from like 6 p.m. to 2 p.m. the next day, most days. So the intermittent fasting. And then the other thing is a friend of mine who makes videos said this. I love his content. His name is Higher Up Wellness. He just says things so bluntly. He's like, if you want to lose weight, eat in a calorie deficit. And if you want to build muscle while you're doing that, eat 0.8 grams of protein per pound of your goal body weight. Mm-hmm. My goal weight is like 295. Mm-hmm. I'll probably end up at my peak, maybe 285, 280 if I have a bunch of muscle. That's a crap load of protein.
Yes.
Like if I wanted to stay the weight I was right now, I'd have to eat like 400 and something grams of protein, you know? So people are like, oh my God, Ethan, why are you eating so much? I'm like, listen, this is literally the protein goal for nearly half of my weight. Mm-hmm. So for me, 250 grams of protein, it's a lot of protein. I eat like 25 to 30 ounces of chicken a day with protein shakes and protein bars to hit that goal. It's nearly half of my daily caloric intake, but it's going to help me feel better, burn more calories,
yes,
and work towards all my goals at the end of the day. Like that's literally, that's what I like how Michael summed it up. He's like, literally, if you want to lose weight, eat in a deficit and eat 0.8 grams of protein per pound of your goal body weight. That's it. That is literally all you have to do. And if you throw in stuff like moving, which you don't even have to do to lose weight, by the way, you move around, you go to the gym, you do intermittent fasting, all those things are just going to have a compounding effect on each other. But if you're eating in a deficit and you're hitting your protein goals, that is literally all that matters for weight loss, like on a base level. You don't have to do anything on top of that. You could just sit in your chair like a fat ass and you would still drop on the scale. That's what I was doing this year.
100 pounds.
Yeah, 100 pounds in 5 months. Yeah, just by counting calories and tracking.
The power of tracking.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I haven't had the opportunity to have my resting metabolic rate tested yet, but I am very curious to get that done too.
Are you going to get that done?
Because I always felt like I burned less than all those calculators said I should be, but that also might have just been because of how inactive I was. Mm-hmm. So, but once I have that tested, I'll have an even better idea of like how many pounds of fat I am burning a week and that type of stuff.
I would love to get that done as well. I'm like super nerdy about these things, but in Canada, it's just like not available in the same way. I live in like a tiny mountain town, but I would love to get that done.
We live right on the edge of the middle of nowhere ourselves.
It's the best place to be, honestly, but definitely makes it harder to get access to like fun tools. Like there's so many things that like in preventative medicine that are coming out right now. Like you can get like full body like MRIs that will like check out your how like your spinal column is doing, and if there's any like degenerative disc issue and that kind of thing. And I'm like, I would love to get all of this done.
Yeah, I want to get one of those body composition scales eventually, but they do not go up to my weight yet.
Like
even some of the 500-pound ones I don't trust. Mm-hmm. Like I don't want to be like 490 pounds using a 500-pound scale, you know?
Yeah. But I think the more information, the better. And I would be curious because I've tried to like, I think that I have an idea of my BMR, but really you just can't know until you like properly know. Do you think that the 660-pound version of yourself would believe like what you're achieving right now? Like
medically, yes. Social media, no. Because the thing, can I go on a little tangent?
Please go on.
Okay, so the thing with social media as a weight loss creator, like I said, I'm in a unique position because of my on-camera skills, and I think that's a big reason of why I'm growing so fast. Because most weight loss creators are genuine people trying to make a change. Some of them are making a change, but they don't have that like on-camera personality. They're just kind of boring. You know, they can be inspirational and boring, but when you're entertaining and inspirational, that's like
double whammy.
So yeah, like the thing with social media is the peak for weight loss creators is the before and after.
Mm-hmm.
That is the pinnacle of most of their careers. When you hit that point, you hit your goal weight, you post the before and after, everyone's like, oh my God, look at what this guy did. I'm so inspired. So my thought process going back into making these videos, because right, I was like, if I'm going to physically suffer, I might as well share it. I have no reason not to. I'm experienced in this area. I know what I'm doing. Might as well just start making videos, because I like I said, I have that mental capacity to not care what people say. So even if it would have been a negative reception, which it hasn't been,
No.
I wouldn't have cared. And I'm like, okay, I'll upload. Doesn't matter how many views it gets. Once I get the before and after, I'll have so many eyes on me. I'll be able to start whatever I want. Podcast, talk show, whatever. I always planned on doing something on camera. I didn't care what it was. But now, with this momentum, like, think about it. If someone with little to no following posts a before and after of my magnitude, it would go viral.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can get a big enough foundation to launch that off of,
Mm-hmm.
the amount of eyes that will see that before and after could easily be in like the tens of millions of people. Because I'm like, think about it, I have at least a year and a half to go
Mm-hmm.
on terms of the weight loss and the skin surgeries and stuff, like minimum. That's like a best case scenario. And this past 2 months has garnered, what is 100 million? Eight figures? 8-figure amount of views, with well over 500,000 new followers across socials in the first 8 weeks. Like, imagine the platform that I will have to share that before and after and talk about that journey on by the time I reach that goal.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be, and because of that foundation that I will have built, it will spread that much further.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel very blessed to be in that position, because I know that's going to be just unfathomable.
It's such a compelling journey. And like, I'm deeply invested in your success.
Yeah.
And looking at the comments on your posts and stuff, like, I'm not the only person. And for me, one of the interesting things about, I mean, obviously you and I have developed a rapport now, so I'm hearing. But one of the things for me is I'm drawing inspiration from your suffering. And I did DM you on the weekend about this. So just to give a little bit of background, every time we hit 1 million users here at Cronometer, I've always ran like the number of million. So they're coming in more rapid succession now. So I think I started when we hit 8 million. I'm like, I'm going to go for a run 8 kilometers and then 9. And then on the weekend, we hit 13 million users, which is astounding.
13 million.
Yeah, I know.
That's wild.
I know. I never thought that I would be sitting here with a front row seat to like such incredible growth. And it's truly a testament to our team and our product, because I think both are exceptional. But
well, I'm sure this conversation will add a few to that number.
Ultimately, I always hope so, because I think tracking with our app can really change a life. I really believe that. And I'm sure that you could attest to that too. But I was like, I don't want to go for a run. But I'm going to do this forever. Like, no, this is what I've committed to, just myself personally. Like, I think it's a fun thing, but it was hot out. And I was like, oh. And then I'm like, you know what, Elisa? I'm like, if Ethan is willing to go out and do these things, and it's hard, you better get off your butt and go and do a hard thing. And then so I messaged you, and I'm like, you know what? You've given me incredible inspiration. And we aren't even doing the same thing. I'm not on a journey, but for me, I think that's what's so amazing about your story is it's not going to just be inspiration for people losing weight, although obviously that's going to be front and center. But it's like anybody. And I think it's because what you're doing, like, you're not just losing weight. You have goals beyond that. Like, you want to, compete in like strongman events and that kind of thing. And I think that's amazing. And I think that will resonate with anyone regardless of where they're at. And I think that that's part of the reason that people are so drawn to you is because they can see themselves in you regardless of what their goal is. Like when you're out there and you're getting 10,000 steps a day, like how is that not inspiring to absolutely everybody, you know?
Well, that's the thing too. Like I haven't been hitting that goal every day, particularly since starting the gym, because that's taken a big toll on my body. But whenever I do something like that, I just look at the camera and I'm like, listen, if I can do this as a 500-pound man, what are you doing?
Like,
you know?
Use, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's incredibly inspiring. And I personally now, since knowing you, have drawn from your experiences for my own motivation. And that is powerful. And that is when I love social media. Like when my life is better because of what someone else is doing, that's when I think social media really shines. Because I do admittedly struggle with it sometimes, because there is like we talked about like negativity from strangers, and that does weigh on me. But when there's these kinds of stories that are going viral and you're just a great, charismatic, eloquent human on a mission.
Thank you.
I'm like, this is the best event. So I think that your platform is going to grow exponentially more, because it already has.
Yeah. Do we have time for one more topic?
We have time for every topic. Do you have a hard stop right now?
I have no, I have time.
Oh,
I was just wondering because I had that one point that I really wanted to talk about as well.
Okay, let's dive in. I got all the time for you. So
I think and I was like this for years. I think a lot of fat people, and not even just fat people, people who need to change, have convinced themselves that they've made the decision to do so, but haven't actually made that decision.
Tell me more about that.
I know that's like a hard thing for a lot of people to hear. And you know if you're that person. Like you can kind of tell, because I think a lot of people have convinced themselves that they want to make the changes, but they haven't actually. They've convinced themselves that they've made the decision without actually making the decision. Like I said, I have lost and gained back 100 pounds 3 times since 2021. In 2023, in 2022, I lost a bunch of weight from the hospital and then I gained it back because of my depression. In 2023, I lost 100 pounds and I gained it back when my dog died because she was my best friend for 14 years. In 2024, I allowed myself to gain another 60 pounds back because my relationship with my best friend of 20 years was kind of in a bad spot. But in 2025, this year, something in my head clicked, and this motivation will be different for everybody. But the moment that I realized that me failing this journey would have a negative impact on the lives of my future wife and kid, I have not slipped up since that day. The most calories I've eaten in a day, the most I've gone off the path since January 10th when I made that decision was Father's Day. And I fasted the day after and I still lost 4 pounds that week. That was my defining moment where I realized, holy shit, this is the switch. That's when it was flipped. That's when the decision was actually made. And I convinced myself that I had made that decision back in 2020, when in reality, I didn't actually act upon it until January of this year. And everyone's motivations will be different, but that's that. Once I realized that the future of their lives was in my hands, failure is literally not an option, because I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I let them down. So I don't even think about it. I don't even think about going off the path. It's not even a consideration in my mind at this point. And once you get to that level of commitment to the path, I don't even know if it's possible to get off it at this point.
I think that's incredible. I'm very selfless. What's interesting to me, though, too, when you say that is, are you in a relationship right now?
No.
What's interesting is that you might end up with somebody completely different than you would have if you didn't make these changes too. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Because maybe what you'll look for in a partner is different. Maybe what you'll expect or hope for will be different. Like maybe you'll end up with someone that's incredibly active, that's, been on the same journey that you've been on. Maybe someone that also wants to track their protein and walk 10,000 steps a day.
Well, I've had a big perspective shift in relationships this past month. Because I've always been under the impression of, I literally, and this isn't like, don't listen, y'all, don't be sad when you hear this, but I literally thought for years and years and years, and I know this is a very toxic thought, but in my mind, I was like, I would probably never be attracted to a woman that found me attractive right now. That is the thought process I had for like the last decade. And now I'm starting to realize that, and I'm not going to go too far into the relationship tangent, but I'm starting to realize that a high value partner would be willing to understand your dreams and your goals and want to help you get there.
Yes.
Because they'll benefit from it too.
100%.
I am one hell of an investment right now. You know what I mean? Like I've got the personality, I've got the hair. I'm working on all the other stuff, and I'm 6'5". So like that's like I understand. Like that's the thing. Like for a long time, I didn't even consider the way I presented myself or anything because I wasn't looking. I'm like, yeah, there's no way that a girl that I would find attractive would be attracted to me right now. So I have no reason to care. I literally didn't care about how I presented myself. I would wear like pants that had like holes in them and, like a shirt with a hole in the chest or something like that. I wouldn't care. But since that perspective shift, like everything has changed. Like even the way I carry myself, like not only in person, but like on video and everything, I take it seriously on a level that I never have in my entire life now.
That's amazing. I think that comes with confidence and holding yourself to a standard, which I think is a beautiful thing. And I think that you're right. My dad said to me, he was like, the single most important decision you'll ever make in your life is who you decide to be with.
Absolutely.
And when I look at my parents, they're incredible. Shout out to my parents.
Mine too.
I love that. Shout out to your parents, Ethan. What are your parents' names?
Anne and Dan.
Anne and Dan. Oh my gosh, they rhyme. Shout out to Anne and Dan. You guys have raised an incredible son. But for me, looking at my parents have almost been married for 50 years. It's getting close.
Nice.
Yeah, incredible. And they are badass. Like, incredible. They're out there living this beautiful mountain life that they all raised us to love. And they're out, like, my dad, who's 73, is out carrying a 40-pound canoe over his head, portaging, and they are like canoe camping in the wild. And I am like, that's who I want to be when I grow up,
Yeah.
Like their relationship. But then I think about all the time, if one of them was not motivated in the same way, the other probably wouldn't be doing the same things, And I think that those decisions, even outside of obviously like raising children and finances and that kind of thing, like having someone that mirrors your lifestyle, I think is absolutely imperative. And so because you're on this journey and because you now value, movement and tracking your nutrition and being healthy, you'll probably end up with somebody that values the same things, and you'll like motivate each other, and you could end up
absolutely
a longer, healthier life for yourself and your partner because of these decisions. So I think it's awesome that you're doing it for your future family. And I think that it might take you in a direction that you wouldn't have gone in otherwise as well, and towards like meeting somebody, right?
Oh,
Because
absolutely. Yeah.
as you're going through this, do you feel that you have changed or like evolved in some of the characteristics that you want in a future partner? Like,
Oh, I don't know. Like, because I've always had a very traditional look on like a male and female marriage.
okay.
Like, I've always grown up, like, in my mind, there is literally nothing I could do that would make me prouder as a husband than give my wife the option to not work. I don't care if she does.
Yeah.
If she wants to, that's fine. How happy to you. But I want to be in a position financially where she has the option not to, and to stay home and focus on herself and focus on the family.
And I think that's a beautiful thing.
And I think that is, I think a lot, I don't know. I feel like a lot of women hear that and they're like, oh, this guy's like too traditional or whatever. But I think that, that is just a really important part of it for me, because I am always under the mindset that the man should be the provider and the protector. And that's what it is. And I wouldn't, like, that being said, I'm not looking for like a submissive wife or anything, you know, like I want her to be confident and I want her to be independent, but I also want them to respect that aspect of it, because growing up as a Christian man, that is what my heart wants, is to be the provider and be the protector.
Mm-hmm.
So that I feel like that's kind of hard to communicate in the dating landscape that my generation has created. It's a freaking damn minefield. It really is.
Yeah, actually, I was watching the news. I don't usually watch the news, but on the television, very old school.
Yeah.
And there is a decline actually in dating apps. I think like
Oh, for sure.
Bumble just laid off like over 200 people. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't be saying those things unless I've 100% fact checked them. But
Yeah.
it's yeah, and I was surprised because I was like, then how are people connecting these days?
Yeah.
But I guess one of the questions I have is, are you then looking for a partner that values the same health goals as you now?
Faith matters more than anything to me.
Okay.
Obviously, because of how much effort I'm putting into my health, I would prefer someone who loved taking care of their body and going to the gym, because I think that could be a really cool aspect of a relationship, right? But I wouldn't let that necessarily limit who I'm looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm very open-minded. I will say my partner now is in, like, we have very, very similar hobbies, and it has changed my life as well, because I'm just doing the things that I love more because it's easy to do them, you know, when you're out doing them with somebody else. So I think for me, I really value that. But unsurprisingly, because that's my upbringing as well. So it's just interesting consideration. Like, is it easier to go to the gym with your partner if she's like, let's go, Ethan, like, I want to go get a workout? Like, probably.
Well, I think if she's willing to go to the gym at all, that's a win.
Absolutely.
I feel like most people would be either have fun at the gym or, hey, let's go to the gym. You know what I mean? I feel like if they're willing to go at all, that's a super green flag.
And I think that there's a lot of women out there that are very into that. So I think.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. Walk me through quickly what your movement and routine looks like. I know you're trying to get.
Yeah. So I've been trying to do minimum 5,000 steps in this heat, because I don't have a treadmill yet. I'm getting one next month, but this heat is rough when you're my size. Like, the humidity alone, like, it dropped down to the high 70s this week, and I was still, like, after 5,000 steps, I was like drenched. It's really bad. And it was up into the 90s earlier this month, like in the past month. It's been gone awful. I've literally made a video a few weeks ago where I was doing laps around my basement to get steps in, because I'm not willing to deal with that heat. It is like legitimately something that normal people don't like. So imagine being my size and being out in that, like that humidity.
What makes it worse?
What do you mean?
Like at your size, like what do you experience in the heat?
You just get way hotter. Like, think about it. It's like almost like I have like a 200-pound winter coat attached to my body.
Fair.
Like, it's nasty. Like, I can be out there in a t-shirt and shorts, which I was, and I will still literally be like drenched in sweat. It's really bad. But so I've been doing 5 to 10,000 steps a day, mostly 5 lately. I do a couple 10,000 step days a week. I try really hard to get at least 2. And then the strength training I've been really enjoying. I have to start out kind of slow because of all the injuries I've had. Like, I used to tell people I am as strong as I am big, and that's not true anymore. It used to be. Before the hospital, I could curl 50 pounds easy. Wow. Like, I was a big guy. Like, I didn't know if I don't think I had like a ton of muscle, but I definitely had a lot more than I do now. And now, through my recovery, I just got to the point this year where I can curl a 15-pound dumbbell with my right arm, which is crazy because people think of someone my size and they think of like a really strong guy. Mm-hmm. And I am a strong man, but like the weight stuff, I'm just kind of like literally starting from scratch.
Do you have a trainer?
Yeah. Yeah, so the Jocko team introduced me to a guy named Joey Zatmary. He lives in Philly. He is actually a national champion strongman. But it's really cool, Eliza, because I'm telling you, this guy is 6'2". He has a beautiful wife. They just had their first child recently. And he loves the video game stuff. Like, they literally found someone in their network that is like living the life that I kind of aspire to live.
Oh.
So to be able to work directly under and work closely with someone, because that's what your goal should be in life. If you are going to take after someone, you want to take after someone that's living the life that you would like to. Mm-hmm. So they found someone in their network who's literally, not in every aspect, but in a lot of ways, living the life that I would like to be able to live someday. So that dynamic of it is really awesome as well.
That's so fun. So relatable too.
Yeah.
And what a good example. So he has you doing a program. What is the program like?
So we do we actually have a Google Doc. He updates it. We do strength training 3 days a week. He starts off slow though. Like I think he calls it progressive overload.
Yes.
He basically does he says that it should feel a little too easy at first. Which makes sense. I've never done this shit before. Like, I used to lift dumbbells like an idiot like 10 years ago, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was just trying to be a cool, So now that I'm actually training like these different muscles and stuff, like I can feel it. So like we do like the chest press and some of like the step ups and the lateral pull downs and the tricep pull downs and the cable rows and all that shit. And he just has like 4 to 6 different exercises that we usually do 3 sets of 12 reps. And then I do that 3 times a week on top of all the other movement. So
you got your Ring a Garmin watch, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, I did, because the step tracking is hard for me right now too, because if I'm on a treadmill, I don't have great balance, so my arms are like on the rails. But if my arm is holding the rail, it's not moving, and it literally doesn't track any of the steps, which is so annoying because the watch is how I show people that I did them. So if I spend 45 minutes on a treadmill and walk 4,500 steps, and then my watch still says like 2,000,
yes,
I can't. Other than like maybe pointing my phone at the treadmill and going, "Oh guys, look, I've been doing 45 minutes." There's no way of me conveying that to the viewers.
What about putting it on your ankle? Is that an option? They
do make a heart rate monitor that straps to your chest that has like an activity tracker built in.
Yep.
It connects to the watch. Apparently, I haven't delved that deep into it.
Yep, they do. Yeah.
So
it's way more accurate for heart rate tracking. I think that Garmin does a pretty good job. I think they all actually do a pretty good job of tracking heart rate now.
Well, I'm really happy too because this can connect straight into Apple Health and Cronometer.
I know.
So all the shit that I do, my sleep, activity, all that crap, Kevin just has it all right there when he opens up my profile. So
yeah, I love that too. I'm gonna find you on Garmin, and we're gonna become friends on Garmin.
yeah, let's do it.
Because right now I only have my younger brother on there.
Yeah, we and my manager Zoe were trying to connect our share our stats, but we couldn't get Apple Health to work. But she wears an Apple Watch.
Okay.
So she uses the health app. I'm like, we gotta
You're
get her onto the Garmin thing.
you're speaking different languages. I had an Apple Watch, and now I wear a Garmin just because I think that it's just a little bit more accurate, and then
for sure,
quite a bit more data driven, I would say. And I really like nerding out on all of the data. So
I was actually surprised at how well the smart notifications worked on the Garmin, because usually activity watches, their UI and their notifications suck.
Mm-hmm.
But this is I was been pretty happy with it.
What do you have? Do you know the model?
I have the Garmin Fenix 8.
Nice.
And I have the largest one because my wrist is ginormous. So this is the 51 millimeter and it looks normal on me. It doesn't even look like it's a big one. Like if the average person were to put this on, it would look like one of those old toy watches that kids would wear that are just huge on their wrists.
Mm-hmm. It's
so I have like an 8.5 inch wrist. So it looks pretty normal.
It looks great, actually. It's funny because when I switched to Garmin, because I had an Apple Watch, like I said, I got the Fenix 8 initially, and then I forget if it was 44.
Yeah, I think I have a 43 and a 47 or something.
Maybe it was, and I got it, and I'm like, I'm the opposite of you. I have tiny wrists.
Yeah. Did it look like a giant,
It looked like I had a full-on old school clock on my wrist, and I'm like, I can't do this. So then I swapped it for an Epix 2, I think, and I went with the smallest one. And now I'm like, this is it's still.
It looks the same as mine. It looks like, you know what I'm saying? The size on our wrist is actually pretty similar. That's funny.
But yeah, right now I'm not sure if you've seen, but you can challenge other people in the Garmin community. You're not issuing a challenge. It's not but there's step challenges based on how many steps you're going to get on average a week. And I'm incredibly motivated by trying to be these absolute strangers, because it puts
That's awesome.
in a group of different people, 9 different people every week, and then it shows you their steps. And I'm always trying to be at the top, which I'm not always at the top, but if I'm if I'm close to winning, I will say that I'm competitive enough that I'll go out for another 3,000 steps if I'm close. So I'm motivated by David Goggins says taking people's souls.
That's awesome.
I'm motivated by that too. So a couple more questions for you. Just curious. Is there a way that you're measuring success outside of the scale? Or is it solely for you?
Not particularly. I've made a couple of the non-scale victory videos, which were both just kind of supposed to be funny, more comedy type thing.
What were those?
I literally made a video of myself going through a Dunkin' drive-thru with my dad, where I ordered nothing, and it has 5 million views.
Really? I'll have to find it.
Yeah, because I was like, y'all want to talk about non-scale victories, and then I showed my dad getting Dunkin' Donuts, and I'm like, I ordered nothing.
Oh, that's a victory, but
it was, because that is literally the first time in my entire life that I have gone through a drive-thru at Dunkin' and not ordered something.
That is victory.
You know what I mean?
It was a big victory then. Yeah,
because Dunkin' is worthless calories. I enjoy Dunkin' Donuts. I am not I really enjoy Dunkin' Donuts, but it is absolutely worthless calories. So.
And you learn that by tracking and by what works for you, and
especially with my protein goals. I can't have a donut.
Yes.
One 300 calorie donut, I would struggle to reach the 250 without going to 2,800 calories.
Yep. Yeah, no, I totally get that. I'm like that kind of with like nutrients too. I'm like, I want something that's going to like contribute to my totals throughout the day, not something, but like I said, I still definitely have a sweet tooth that I do feed quite
Do
often.
you have like a go-to meal, like other than your bagel? Like what's your like a go-to like dinner?
Kind of embarrassed to admit, but I do get takeaway quite often. And I
Okay.
yeah, like quite often.
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing because a lot of the restaurants have the calories and stuff too.
So for me, what I've basically done is there's a couple things that I love. There's a restaurant that kind of does, well, it's basically like stir fry. So what you do is you take all of like the veggies and meat or tofu that you like raw, which is really, it was a really weird thing for me to like take
Yeah.
and just like put like raw shrimp and uncooked tofu on it and then hand it over. But so I'll get a bunch of prawns and tofu because I really like tofu. I was vegetarian for a while, number of years. And that one.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Have you tried tofu? Tofu is good. Anyway, and then I'll get like tons of pepper, celery, and then like noodles, and then you give it to these people, and then you get your sauce. There's like 11 different sauce options. I always get teriyaki, and then they give that back to me. And I've deconstructed that so many times, and I've eaten so many times that I just know, I'm like,
That's awesome.
yeah. And then I also love sushi, but otherwise there's this woman, and her website is called The Chunky Chef, and she makes a lot of one pot meals, and I make a lot of one pot, like chicken fajita pasta and stuff. Like I love stuff like that. So anything that's kind of Mexican tasting, like cheese and spice, is kind of
Yeah, I wish I was more experimental with food. That sounds really good.
it's so good.
But I'm like a creature of habit for sure. Like literally when Kevin told me to up my calories, because I would do like grazing throughout the day and then I would end with a salad. And now that I have 2,500 calories to work with, I start with a salad and end with a salad. So I literally just eat 2 of them a day now.
Do you get creative with your salads?
No,
Okay.
nope. Same thing every single time.
What is it?
I do a Caesar salad. So we make our own dressing
Okay.
and we make our own croutons using Guy Fieri's recipe.
Hmm.
But we go like full on, like we use anchovy paste in the dressing.
Oh, wow.
We use half mayo, half Greek yogurt, even though it calls for full mayo. Buttermilk, garlic, all the seasonings and crap.
Mm-hmm.
So we make our own dressing. That's not too bad. It's like 150 calories for a third cup.
Mm-hmm.
I usually use closer to a half cup because of how big my salads are. But then I'll do that with like 120 calories of croutons and then usually 12 to 15 ounces of protein. But I will literally eat that. And then and I know this is going to be a new one for people listening. Every time I eat a big salad, I eat it on top of a brown rice tortilla.
Oh.
A company called, I think, Food for Life. They make brown rice tortillas and they are, I don't even know how to describe it, Eliza. The texture and like their structural integrity and the texture and the taste and everything is just so much more appealing to my palate than like a flour tortilla or a corn tortilla.
Wow.
And then when I'm done about 3/4 of my salad, I'll wrap it up in the tortilla and eat it.
Okay.
So I'll literally put it at the bottom of the bowl, kind of treat it like a plate. And then when I'm almost done, I'll wrap it up and have a Caesar wrap to end the meal. Because it's like 100 calories with a few more carbs, but
That's amazing.
it's just, it makes it that much more filling.
And it's like a treat at the end.
Yeah. It's like eating 2 meals kind of, because you eat a big salad and then you have enough left to turn into a big wrap.
I love wraps. I love
So-
wraps. It's handheld happiness for me.
For sure, yeah.
Make a lot of, last night I had a burrito and I loved it. But I actually I'm going to send you don't ever have to make it, but I make a blackened chicken salad.
That sounds good.
Oh my gosh.
What real quick before you say the recipe, what determines blackened chicken? What does that mean?
I think that you over barbecue the outside. a little bit. Like,
Okay, so it is like a char thing. It's not like a blackened seasoning thing. It's like the way you prepare it.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's hear it.
So I make this often, and it's one of my favorite foods. Absolutely. It's so good. It's so filling. It's so good. So basically, you just like blacken chicken, and then I take like a bed of spring mix. I think that romaine would be fine. And then I add everything. I add avocado. I add black beans, corn, red pepper, tomato, feta,
Wow.
tortilla strips, and then I top it. Some people add dates to it, which is unexpected but delightful. And then I top it all off with a honey mustard or a honey lime, vinaigrette that I make at home. 3 simple ingredients, just like lime juice, honey, and olive oil. And then I pour it over, and I could eat it every day. It's so good. And it's just loaded with nutrients.
Oh, I was going to say the nutrient density on that must be wild.
It is. And I mean, the dressing, obviously anything oil-based will have a number of calories, but I really don't bat an eyelash when it's coming from
Calories aren't a bad thing.
like olive oil, So,
Yeah.
love it. It's so good. What happened was there's a restaurant in Revelstoke called the Rockford, and they made it. It's kind of like a Santa Fe style salad. And then they took it off their menu, and I'm like, nope.
I got to get this back in my life ASAP, right?
100%. That's exactly what I was just going to say, word for word. And then so I'm just like, I'm just going to make it myself. Like, how hard could this be? And so every time I eat it, I'm like, this is my favorite food. So I'm also team salad. Couple more questions for you.
Yeah.
One of the ones that I have is, what do you wish that people understood about obesity or extreme weight loss?
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I got to really think before I answer this.
Take your time.
About obesity or weight loss, because I feel like those are separate.
Both.
Oh, man. Well, and I'm not looking for sympathy. This is the thing. I don't ever want to play the victim. But I think that people have no effing clue how hard menial tasks and just everyday life is when you're this size. Obviously, if you're this size, you, one way or another, were responsible for becoming that size. But regardless of that, if that's your reality, some of the stuff you deal with is wild. Like just little things, like I said earlier, things that people take for granted, moving around, getting up, literally getting out of bed is significantly more effort, and it takes significantly more effort, and it is more painful than it is for someone normal. Like just really simple stuff like that, like standing, walking around, literally everything that involves movement just takes a toll. In terms of weight loss, like I said earlier, I'm like extremely opinionated when it comes to this now, because I've done everything. And I can confidently tell people 2 things about weight loss that I wish I knew 5 years ago. At the end of the day, it boils down to calories in, calories out. If you eat in a calorie deficit and you are honest with yourself and you are diligent, you will lose weight. You could literally do nothing. You could literally lay in bed for a month, and if you ate in a calorie deficit, you would lose weight. It does not matter. And also, I think the high protein stuff, if you are someone who's trying to build muscle or be a more toned person, I think that 0.8 grams of protein per pound of your goal body weight is key. A high protein diet. And I mean, honestly, like that's the thing too. I've said, like, people are like, oh, Ethan, why do you eat so much protein? Because I will weigh a lot. At the end of my journey, I will weigh a lot. At the end of my journey, a doctor would call me morbidly obese. I don't care. These medical morons think that I should weigh 180. I would be anorexic. I wouldn't exist. I would be literal skin and bones at 180 with my build. So 0.8 grams of protein per pound of your goal body weight is an amount of protein. If you can eat that amount of protein and stay in a deficit, you will be primed for like muscle growth and health and all that stuff. And that's literally what it boils down to. Tracking diligently, tracking honestly, and staying in a deficit is literally the only thing that matters for losing weight. Movement, intermittent fasting, which is literally a free weight loss card that anyone can play literally by doing nothing. That is how you do it. You literally just have to be able to do nothing. If you can do that, everything that you do on top of that deficit will be a compounding effect, and you will start reaching towards your goals. And if you're not, you're doing something wrong, or you're not being honest with yourself, or you're not tracking correctly, because like that just is the reality of the situation.
Why do you think that's so hard for people? Because it is numbers, and you and I can recognize that. But what do you think is the barrier? Because North America in general, we're more overweight than we've ever been.
Well, I think the food here is awful, Eliza. Like, I know that's like a hot take, but I think like there is some substantiation to the people that go over to Europe and they're like, guys, I can like eat carbs here and not feel like shit. Like, I think the food in this country is literally engineered to make people less healthy, or at least overweight. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, if you read some of the ingredients that are in normal groceries, and that's the other hard thing about the weight loss is like the high protein diet. I spend so much money on groceries.
Yes.
Like I think between like the mental health epidemic, I don't like using that word, between that and between the quality of most of the foods that people buy in this country, it does not surprise me at all, especially with like fast food culture and stuff. Like there's nothing wrong with going through the drive-thru every once in a while, but that is just like so incredibly bad for you, even if it's within your calories. Like, there are so much better nutrients and better ways that you can be using those calories when you do stuff like that. And I think it's like kind of the same thing with buying like just like the generic brand processed foods off the shelves, you know? And I know like that sounds like a really privileged stance with like the cost of groceries and everything, but that's just the reality of it, especially in the US.
Yeah, I'm continually saddened by the cost of like fruits and vegetables and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, like getting a pint of blueberries is like $9 now. Like
raspberries make me cry. I can't even buy them. Like, I don't even buy them because that's such a, like, they literally sell, you know, like those small square containers.
Yes.
That's a snack, literally.
Oh, 100%.
Even for someone your size, that's a snack. For me, that's like, I could eat like 5 of them things. It would do nothing to me, and that would literally cost like unironically $45.
It honestly is. And I think that's part of the problem, you know, I'm like, I could eat a pint of blueberries in a sitting, no problem. It would be delicious and I would love it and I'd be happy. But I'm like, a chocolate bar is $2, you know, like, and I think that's part of the problem. So for me, I've always been like trying to find solutions, like a ways around that. And a lot of the time, you know, I'll have like Greek yogurt with fruit or that kind of thing. And I'll just get like frozen fruit.
Yeah. And like the thing is too, like if people can get themselves to stop buying the foods they shouldn't be eating, they won't eat them. If they're not in your house, you're not going to eat them.
100%.
Like, you're far less likely to go out to your car, get in, and go through a drive-thru than you are to go to the cabinet and grab chips.
I agree. Temptation.
So, I don't buy that stuff barely at all.
Yep.
Anymore at this point.
And Dan and Ann, they support?
Oh, my mom's been all organic since 2010.
No.
We spend a shitload of money on groceries every month.
I can't even imagine.
I spend like $60 a week on chicken.
Yeah.
And I like, my mom is like super like, oh, grass-fed organic. Like, I do try to buy organic, but the prices are ridiculous. It's absurd.
Yeah.
Eating healthy is not cheap. That sucks. And you can eat in a deficit and hit your protein goals on a budget.
Yes.
But doing it in the healthiest way is very expensive.
Yes. Yeah, it really is. I have protein shakes and that kind of thing, and that kind of does make it a little bit more affordable.
Yeah.
Obviously, but then I think every time. I think it's like an investment in your health,
Absolutely.
Because definitely paying more upfront now, and I do. I've kind of just accepted that, fruits and vegetables and that kind of thing are not cheap, and I want them to be part of my diet, so I'm just kind of like sucking it up.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I am with like the meat and the lettuce. Like, holy shit, I go through an entire 3-pack of romaine lettuce every day.
Yeah.
It's like $5 at least, $5-6.
Maybe.
And it's like literally hard to find enough good packs of it just to like buy every week.
Maybe you'll become a farmer. Maybe you'll have an Instagram reel where you take up lettuce farming.
Yeah, and do some investment into the romaine industry.
100%. One of my friends actually grows lettuce and gave me an abundance, and I'm like, that's wicked, because I'm also just like usually like getting, the packages of romaine from the grocery store, and I'm like, actually, I'll take all your free lettuce, thank you. Like, we had too much, and I'm like, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great problem.
Yeah, I do like 600 to 700 grams of romaine lettuce a day, which I know that's not, people don't hear grams and have an immediate idea of how much that is, but lettuce is very lightweight.
That
that is a lot of lettuce.
I was like, how much lettuce do I put in my salads is what I was thinking, and then I'm like, whoa. Not anywhere close to that. Like maybe 100 grams. So that's wild. Thinking towards the future, question for you. This might be like a time capsule. You can look back on this, but where do you see yourself a year from now, physically, mentally, or otherwise?
I think a year from now, I'll be looking at the skin surgery stuff.
Okay.
Which I think I'm in a good position for, because I have a lot of connections, especially with Kevin from PH2 Nutrition. He is in the heart of Hollywood, so he's kind of like in the heart of all the really rich, snobby people that work for other rich, snobby people. You know what I mean? He's not one of those people, by the way.
He's great.
But I am pretty sure, like, I think a doctor would be a fool not to do that surgery for me. Because the before and after that I will be able to provide any business or any doctor who does it is invaluable. A 6'5", 660-pound man. I had a man from my church who got skin loss surgery like 5 or 6 years ago. He was shorter than me. I don't think he weighed near 600 pounds. He had 39 pounds of loose skin removed.
Whoa.
I'm 6'5", and I weighed more than he ever did. I will probably have, if I had to guess, north of 45 or 50 pounds of loose skin to be cut off. So the before and after of that procedure, imagine putting that on your freaking pamphlet. Like, that is, so I'm hoping that I'll be in a position, sorry to cut you off, where I'll be able to just have access to some of the most competent people in that industry and just have one of them do it.
Yep.
You know?
So you are going to do that for sure. Like that's...
Oh, yeah. It's not, there's no effing way I would walk around with 50 pounds of flabby skin.
Do you have any excess right now? Like, can you foresee like where that's going to...
Oh, yeah. I've got the chicken wings on my arms and all that shit. Everything's jiggly. I mean, you can never, it's kind of hard to tell when you're this big, whether it's like fat or how loose it is. I feel like this is a really weird verb to say. I feel like a lot of my body is sagging more.
No, that's...
So, I mean, I've lost 160 pounds, so it makes sense.
You've lost more than me. That's like me being on your back, carrying a backpack.
Yeah, I think I've lost one of you since January.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it's pretty crazy.
I think about that all the time. Like that, and that is like in my own mind when people are talking about weight loss. I'm like, yeah, that's like my entire body weight. Like that.
Well, but put that into perspective too, Eliza, because I'll probably have half of you in just loose skin. Like it's pretty wild to think about.
Yeah, that is.
So I don't think that there's really an option where I don't get that done. I think that's like
Yep.
for sure a necessity.
Yep. Yep. I haven't really done a lot of research, but I do follow a couple people on Instagram from our Cronometer account that have had the surgery, and it looks like a lot of recovery, but definitely sounds like the people that have done it have been happy with the results and have deemed it worth it. So I think that's really cool. One question I have for you, what message would you give people that are feeling stuck in their own health journey or just at the beginning?
I think it is hard to, and it depends on your level of self-awareness. I think it's hard to actually make the decision to change as opposed to being convinced or having convinced yourself that you made it. But once you make that decision to change, like I'm telling you, I don't care who is listening to this, if you eat in a deficit, particularly if you eat high protein in a calorie deficit, and you are honest with yourself about how many calories you're eating and you weigh and track your food, you will lose weight. It is not possible that you won't. That is just how the world works. So if you're at that level where you're working hard and you're stuck and you haven't been doing that, that's probably why.
It's just that simple. I think it is
Really?
too.
It really is.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it is math. However, that being said, there's so much. Like I did a nutrition science course through Stanford, and I think half of it, honestly, if I'm being totally honest, was about like mindset and
for sure. Yeah.
Aspect.
And that's where that choice comes in.
Yeah.
You have to make the decision, and you have to, honestly, this is a really hot take too. You have to have a reason for it.
Mm-hmm. And that reason has to be from within yourself, I think.
Yeah.
You know, like you can't do it for anybody else. You have to do it for whatever your why is, because I know that there's people that, you know, maybe they want their partner to like lose weight because they're worried, but they got to figure it out on their own, you know, in order to have motivation to do all of the things.
Yeah, if the person who needs to lose the weight does not have a reason to, why would they do it?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Because once that reason, like I've always had that in my heart, but once that reason became a realization, I'm locked in.
You're locked in.
And I don't know if that's going to be everyone's experience, but once you have the why, the path becomes a lot easier to follow.
And I think one of the beautiful things about your why is that it really doesn't have anything to do with how you look physically. And I think a lot of people kind of get stuck in that, even myself included. I'm like, oh, I'll be happy if I weigh 5-10 pounds less. That's really not a good enough reason for me now. You know, like before it was like very aesthetically motivated, but now I'm like, it hurts more when I run. Like that matters to me.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like I love running. And if it's more painful, like why would I want to do it? You know? So I think it's so good to have a reason that's beyond like the physical. Eden, this has been amazing. I'm now at the front row, you know, like those foam fingers people wear to sporting events. I'm carrying one of those for your journey with a number one fan. I know that you're partnering with us at Cronometer, which I'm so excited about. Really, really excited to be part of sharing your story. Where can people find you? Because I'm sure after people listen to this, they're going to want to find you. So drop all your social handles for me.
Yeah, so on, I believe, Instagram and YouTube and X, or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. It's just at Ethan Bernard, ETHANBENARD. Most people, 95% of people who hear or read my name hear and say Bernard. So my name is disgustingly bad for this space. And then on Facebook and TikTok, it is Ethan Bernard with live at the end.
Okay.
Because someone took my username.
We talked about this. It's painful.
It could be a guy named Ethan Bernard, ironically, but I doubt it. So
Yeah, someone.
yeah, TikTok and Facebook are / Ethan Bernard Live, and then pretty much everywhere else is just at Ethan Bernard.
That's amazing. I think Bernard is easy enough, but I guess maybe people don't.
Well, apparently Bernard is probably like 1,000% more common. Also, Bernard is English and Bernard is French.
Oh, okay.
Because I have a French and Irish ancestry on my dad's side. That's where the last name came from.
Don't say. I was wondering where you get those ginger locks from. It's a touch of the Irish.
Oh, my great-grandpa died in his 80s with a full head of hair like this, so I'm praying for the same thing.
Oh my gosh. That's like my grandfather, I think, was just going gray at his temples. Black hair, jet black hair. I'm like, I obviously don't have jet black hair, but I was like, that's an impressive. You have sick flow. You have very sick flow. Anyway, it's been absolutely an honor. I can't wait to see where you go. And I'm happy that the social media channels allow me to follow along because I'm literally all over your stuff. And I'm also seeing everyone else all over your stuff. And I'm happy that most people have been cheering. So,
yeah, I appreciate it, Eliza. I'm sure we'll keep in touch. This was fun.
Yeah, we will. I'm going to do a follow-up episode in a year. We'll play this back and we'll chat again. Thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I had a good one.
That's it for today's episode of Discovering Nutrition with Cronometer. A huge thank you to Ethan for being so open and honest about his journey. It's not easy to talk about this stuff publicly, and we're so grateful that he's sharing his experiences with the world. If this episode resonated with you, please consider sharing it with a friend, leaving a review, or tagging us on social media. We love hearing what stood out for you. And remember, your health is a journey, not a destination. Progress over perfection, always. Thanks for listening. Can't wait to see you next time.